sponsored by Fantasy Grounds. Welcome back to the Nonat1s Actual play of Paizo's The Slithering. In the last episode, our four travelers agreed to assist Abeone Moonmei in her investigation of the strange affliction threatening Kibwe. They began by seeking out a Mwangi preacher known as Batsulan, and now find themselves wrapped up and accosted during one of his sermons. How about you stand up here with me? Bring your friends! Bring all of your friends! Come! Stand with me and preach your wisdom curiosities to the audience.
Oh, I don't have, preaching. I'm bad at that.
No, please! Stand up! If you wish to make it a scene and come before me, challenging our beliefs, come! Stand and speak your piece.
Well, I'll awkwardly walk up and go, well, I'm not really sure, what challenging I might have been doing. Hi, my name's Vorgak. I'm an orc. Obviously.
There's a lot of awkward, unsettled people in the crowd. Also, Karana hiding out back, you could clearly hear, once Batsulan got heated, he was shouting. You could hear all of this. You heard him say, come up and speak. And Vorgak, this close to the back wall, you can hear Vorgak's voice clearly.
Karana was wondering what the hell's going on. Karana thought the speech was almost done and it was winding down. That's why he came back here. He's looking up at the sun setting and it's stars are coming out. What the hell's taking so long?
All right, Vorgak, how would you like to roll me initiative?
I mean, I'd be okay with that.
With deception or diplomacy?
Ooh, I'm terrible at both of those things.
Can Hemlock join in with his friends once he sees that this is happening?
You may, yes. You may join in.
I'm going to maintain my spot in the front of the crowd, but I'm not going to associate myself with them.
Nenznak, the floor is yours. And you only get one action per turn in this.
Yep. Why would you allow this being that does not contain the human spirit to take the stage? I vote we kick him out of here.
So you're supporting Batsulan to get rid of...
To get rid of the non-humans.
Okay. Make me a diplomacy check.
Now I'll remind anybody that's watching or listening that I am a gnome. Did I roll deception by accident? Well, it's a 24. It's still plus 11.
Same, but okay, cool.
It's the same for both.
Fantastic. Batsulan kind of looks out, and he sees you standing in the midst of all the humans, and he kind of chuckles to himself as the audience kind of weirdly slow at first, but they do nod and kind of stare at you, Vorgak. Why is this non-human on the stage? This isn't right. This is wrong. Hemlock.
Hemlock would like to simply try and de-escalate the situation. I will make a diplomacy check. What I want to do is I kind of want to pipe up and maybe try and move toward Vorgak to maybe just kind of take him and pull him away.
Okay.
And what I will say is, we are simply here because the presence of those seeking the truth is to be infinitely preferred to the presence of those who think they've found it.
Sure, and you're trying to reason yourself. Okay, go ahead and roll me diplomacy.
22.
22. People do kind of nod at you as well. Not all of them, but a lot of them do kind of see he kind of has a point, they're not here to enlighten, they're just here to learn and investigate, and that's kind of fair, I guess. And Karana, you're in the initiative, you don't have to do anything. You can hear most of this pretty clearly. You probably couldn't hear Hemlock, which you could hear the others. Although, Hemlock, you said you started moving up, right?
Yeah, I started moving up toward Vorgak to just try and get him and pull him away.
Yeah. You know what, Karana, go ahead and roll me perception.
17.
Yeah, so far the only ones you've been able to hear are Batsulan and Vorgak. You haven't been able to hear the other two.
Alright. Yeah, I think at this point, Karana is still going to hang out here.
Okay.
He doesn't want to give up his position unless he is worried about something.
Okay. So would you like to delay your action to come back in whenever you need to?
Yeah, for now I'll call it delay.
Sure. So Batsulan kind of chuckles at you, Hemlock. Now that he can finally see you standing out from the crowd, he recognizes it's your voice that matched the questions originally, and just kind of chuckles, saying, "You who seek truth, but have no reason to seek truth. Truth is enlightening, and enlightenment can only be achieved by pure-blooded Mwangi humans
Why waste your time seeking? Just live your pathetic life and get it over with. The audience is starting to get torn. They're so used to listening to him. They're so used to his words being truth and wisdom that they just start nodding along with him. And some of them kind of shuffle out of the way behind Nensnak and Hemlock and sort of just add a passage like out, like letting you, if you choose to leave, just get out.
So, if I'm to understand that there's no reason for anybody but humans to seek truth, we're just supposed to live until we die?
Make me
what that will be.
That could be diplomacy. You're trying to point out the fact that there has to be a reason here, you know? Nothing has no point.
Yeah. All right, here it comes. 3.
Total?
Yeah. I rolled a 4.
Okay. You're so not used to being in front of people like this. You're so not used to this many eyes on you, especially with your familiar, like, dancing back and forth behind your head, distracting you, distracting the audience. You kind of stumble through your words a little bit. You bite your tongue at one point with your sharp orc teeth, and people are just kind of, like, waving you off, like they have not listened to a word you just said. Nensnak, your turn.
I'm trying to think of what to say and not feel like it's being disrespectful in any way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 100% disrespectful.
Sort of as a reaction, after Vorgak's failure, Batsulang just kind of pipes in. They can't even speak correctly. These creatures know not what they do. They have no special skills. They have no special worth.
Yes, these creatures speak of searching for truth, but they're not worthy. Only those with the true human spirit, and I apologize for my disgusting appearance. The divine or celestial grace I have been touched with knows of this disgust and hatred.
Roll me diplomacy or deception, your choice.
I feel like this has to be deception. At this point, I'm lying out my ass. I'm going to hero point it. I rolled a 3. Oh, fuck.
I mean, honestly, you speak negatively of your own disgust, and it almost backfires in a way as people start. Some of them chuckle a little bit, some of them laugh at you, some of them are just, why? What are you trying to tell us? There's a look of confusion, some laughter, and they just kind of wave you off, like, what is this guy? Come on, get out of here. It is Hemlock.
So again, Hemlock simply wants to try and calm everything down.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to be an enemy to these people. Even if he might be an enemy to them at some point, he doesn't want them to know that, because he doesn't want them to know that they're who I am investigating.
Okay.
So again, I simply just want to try and calm things over with a diplomacy check.
Go for it.
And which do you want first, the check or what I'm going to say?
If you want to alter what you're going to say based on your check, you can roll first.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. So I roll a diplomacy check. I do get a 28.
Nice.
And I say, everyone, we spend too much time talking about each other, at each other, past each other, and not enough time talking with each other.
And it reaches some people in the crowd. Like, there is a slight murmur after that, but they're starting to get riled up. A lot of your words reach the ones near you, but they don't reach the far edges of the audience. There's a lot of diversity going on in the audience right now. A lot of people talking back and forth. It's getting louder, and it's getting harder to be heard. Karana, you hear everything in there getting louder and louder and louder.
I think at this point, Karana can tell that something's going on in here. So he actually comes in through the back where Batsulan entered through.
Okay.
And so is he on a stage?
It's not really a stage. It's sort of they're all sort
raised...
of sitting around him, and he's just standing amongst them. He's a very tall man.
So I don't know if my sudden appearance shocks them at all, but
you're not trying to hide in any way?
No, not at this point. I almost make
What kind of entrance are you making?
That's what it was. It's almost like a flourish through the I throw this thing open and walk in.
Roll me performance. So you enter, you flap the drape to the side, and you step forward triumphantly, and they all look at you, and a lot of them start backing up and pointing at your horns and your red eyes. Even Batsulang kind of looks over his shoulder, kind of shakes to the side, and everyone, a lot of the diverse conversations of the crowd have all come to a halt with you entering in.
Well, at least I quieted it down in here.
Batsulan points and says, This is what awaits all who ignore the Mwangi spirit, the human spirit that shows power. This is the scum that I speak of. The crowd is like heavily nodding. The crowd is looking directly at Batsulan. He has them in the palm of his hand. Vorgak, it's your turn.
I feel like this isn't going well, guys.
Well, I see I'm not wanted here. Have a good night, everybody. I'm just gonna see myself out now.
So you're just leaving? You're just like walking out the back?
I don't know.
It's your call.
Oh.
So how do you guys like talking to Batsulan?
He's a douchebag.
He sure is.
Vorgak's gonna look and start to like get visibly just like a little maybe frustrated. It probably comes off as looking angry.
Okay.
And will just kind of look back at Karanaw and it just goes, This man, Karanaw here, has saved many lives. I've seen him save many lives, and he doesn't need your fucking enlightenment. Save lives. This is sickening. You're all sickening, and I'm leaving.
Please roll me intimidation.
I'm not really good at that either.
Oh, oh no.
I know, right? I wanted more.
Batsulan just kind of looks at you and shakes his head and just waves you away, looks to the crowd. You see them. They threaten you. Be gone from the pavilion. Do not set foot in here again as long as we are here.
Double fingers as I'm walking away.
My friends, let us pray. They cannot harm us. We simply sit, and he sits down. Close your eyes. Do not acknowledge them. And then silence covers the pavilion as all of his followers do the same.
For three characters with decent charisma, we sucked.
That could have gone way better, huh?
I don't know about you. I rolled well.
One roll I made was not good.
I might have been doing all the wrong things.
I sit down and pray,
You do so.
attempting to be a follower.
I'm going to walk towards Karanaw and leave through his direction.
I'll just say to Vorgak, like, we're obviously not wanted here. It's time to
They're
leave.
assholes.
And I go back behind my my barrels.
My barrels. Hemlock?
Such a tough call. Yeah, I'll leave too.
Okay. Are you heading out the back with them or back out the front?
Whichever way is closer to where I
Okay.
am.
I think you had walked up as you were talking the whole time. So
A little bit, yeah.
You head out the back with them.
All right.
So you've all left. Nonat1s is just praying inside the pavilion.
If I see Batsulan start to move, I would like to calmly just get up and try to follow wherever he goes.
Okay.
I'm going to look over at Hemlock and go, that guy was really upsetting. Sorry.
Yes.
Kind of pissed me off a few times. I just wanted to ask a few questions.
We have learned much, though, my friend. We have learned much.
Maybe
Which is
I
so-
need to ask you a few questions. I didn't learn a damn thing.
We shall see. There is so much yet to do. And I would start to walk away.
Okay. So Nonat1s, you're sitting there with your eyes closed with everyone else, right? Or are your eyes open?
Kind of like slightly open, just kind of occasionally, every couple seconds, kind of peek up towards Batsulan to make sure he's still there or if he's moving.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me perception.
26.
You barely catch him, but yeah, you open your eye and you see like him walk through the western part of the drapes.
I'm
And make
going
his
to
way.
attempt to follow.
Okay. You do so. You exit out the west side of the pavilion, and you see Batsulan walking away. He has the gold platter in his hand.
I call out to him, Preacher Batsulan, may I have a word?
He stops, looks over his shoulder, and looks at you. He walks back to you, and he looks you up and down and says, "You say you believe what we believe, but no matter how hard you believe, you will never be enlightened." He actually puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "I'm sorry. It's just not possible." And he turns and walks away.
Before he gets all the way away, I want to try to stop him. He's like, I know I can never be enlightened. I understand that because of my disgusting form. But if there's anything I can do to assist the cause,
He puts a hand up to stop you.
Damn it.
We do not want assistance from your kind. And he keeps walking.
Man.
I
Okay.
feel like that's in character too.
I'm trying to do anything to be able to ask him questions and actually get to him. You fuckers kept trying to calm him down, or try to sway the crowd against him.
And
Okay.
you guys, all three of you, can actually hear that going on down the way, and you can just see barely beyond the curve of the pavilion. You see Nensnack just sort of standing dejected in the middle of the road.
If I heard that, could I maybe then try to follow him? And maybe Karanal wants to do the same.
Wait, does he have any guards with him, or is he alone?
He's alone.
I mean, if I notice that my companions are within sight of me after I get dejected that poorly, I'm going to kind of wave them to come. And I vote we actually do try to follow him.
How dark is it at this point?
It's about 30 past sundown. Like, the moon's only just starting to crest up, so it's actually pretty dark.
Then yeah, just try to follow him at a distance, off to the side.
Engage stealth mode.
Yes.
You
I look
all-
at Vorgak and I say, Vorgak, we're going to go ahead and try and be stealthy.
Oh, I'm
Perhaps
actually
you should
good
stay
at
behind.
this.
Oh, I
Wait,
guess I
are-
could do that, wouldn't I?
Are we all stealthy?
I think you all have
I
a
have
crazy dex.
I have a +11.
I also have a +11.
I have only a +9.
I only have a +9.
Well, let's give it a shot.
And you do so. You see him heading down the road straight to the west of the Adayenki Pavilion, walking away with not looking back, or doesn't seem to have noticed your presence at all.
Vorgak's going to reach over his shoulder and violently grab his familiar
Okay.
and then stuff it into his sleeve.
Okay.
I'm worried its flapping wings will give us away.
All right, were we rolling stealth checks?
Yes, you can roll stealth checks right now if
No.
you would like to trail him.
I feel like we did that last time.
You did,
And
but
it's like, well,
rolls don't
we're-
carry over. 25, 16, 25. Ooh. So the three of you managed to sort of get behind some buildings, kind of keep your distance carefully as you're trailing him. Hemlock just decides, what's the worst that could happen? And starts strolling straight down the road.
A lapse in judgment.
You're small. He'll never notice you, right?
Exactly.
Hemlock, you do notice that he like looks over his shoulder and kind of sees you. You can't tell if he recognizes you or not, but he just keeps walking. So you start to make your way down, and he hangs a left at this fork dead ahead of you, and starts heading to the south. Which those of you who are familiar with this area, which I think, did one of you say you lived in Kibwe?
Hemlock definitely does.
Hemlock okay. So you know that to the south, there is really only one place that a preacher would probably be going to, and that is possibly the wells, which is one of the sources of water for Kibwe. Some preachers feel the need to bless it. Other than that, to the south in Kibwe, there's miners' camps and really the lowest wealth of living, like the lowest, blanking on the word,
Class.
thank you.
This is the slums.
Yes, the slums.
All right. I'll keep that information in mind as we continue on.
Okay. So as you all reach actually right before where you just moved to, at that road dead ahead of you, he actually starts to look around. If everyone could roll me another stealth check.
You got it. Promise we're not going to mess this one up.
Don't make that promise.
Messed it up.
Ooh. Ooh.
You messed it up.
Hemlock and Nensnack. Looking around, Karana and Vorgak, you're both able to sort of slide into opposite alleyways to get out of sight. Nensnack and Hemlock, you both kind of quickly look around and dart and walk into each other. and Batsulan does turn around and sees you two and actually walks up to you, looking specifically at you, Nensnack. I thought I told you to leave. Why are you following me?
I'm not following you. I'm just headed to the wells with my good friend here. I mean, this person I've never met before. Shit.
He kind of looks. he looks over at Hemlock,
and vaguely recognizes you as well. Why torture me with this? If you need something, ask. If not, and he points to the direction of the wells, be on your way.
Okay, I'll be on my way.
Yeah, I walk to the wells.
So, as the two of you walk past Batsulan, it appears he has not noticed you, Vorgak and Karana, and he kind of looks around a little bit and actually ducks into this road to the east, into that more densely populated building area.
Definitely follow.
So you two follow in, and he starts to make his way a bit deeper into the heart of this area. So Vorgak and Karana, you are both foreign to Kibwe. Have you been here long?
Vorgak's been here probably for the last couple of months, just kind of hanging around Hemlock.
I
Karana?
can't say that Karanah's been here for very long.
Okay, Vorgak, why don't you go ahead and roll me society? Oh, all right. The direction he's heading, there's not much there except the mining camp, the Mwangi mining camp, which does not seem like, the East Mwangi mining camps, which seems like a strange place for a preacher to be going. And
Seems strange.
He's heading straight down that road.
There's the entrance to the mines aren't in this.
No, there's
section,
not. There's
are
not
they?
a mine nearby. This is just sort of
Got
where there's a processing plant around here, and this is where all the mining materials are brought to.
With heavy suspicion, even more suspicion than before,
Oh,
Vorgak keeps following.
okay. What about our two little gnome friends?
We're getting water, yo.
Just heading to the well?
Nah, can we perhaps double back and try and follow again?
Sure, but I'm gonna need you both to roll me perception.
Yes, absolutely.
25? Okay.
21.
Okay, yeah, so you both kind of quickly double back, and even from this distance, you can sort of see Batsulan making his way down, and all four of you see him take that right turn. So you see him turn right where that arrow is and head down that offshoot.
Do I see that Hemlock and Ned Snack are nearby?
Oh, yeah. They didn't try to hide, so they're just sort of slowly walking down the road into this part of town.
How far away is Batsulan?
At this point, from Karana, right across the street, you are sort of up a ways. If you move down a little bit closer, he's basically just across the street from you guys. But again, you're in alleyways, and you see him duck down into this alleyway right here between these two buildings.
Well,
And
I guess
it-
continue to follow.
Okay, and as you've been following him, there have been less and less people around, and when he ducked between the two buildings, there was nobody around. He's pretty much solo at this point. And as you continue...
It's evening, right? Pretty dark.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. It's getting pretty late. A lot of people have already turned in for the day.
Okay. Does it seem like he's having any trouble like seeing where he's going, or does he have a light source, or is there a light just in the city?
It looks as though he's taking his time, almost as though he's choosing to stay dark. So, you see Batsulan approach the building I've circled. Karana, you're really the only one close enough to see exactly where he's going in. And you see him approach the door. Roll me one more stealth check, Karana.
Nat 20 for 31.
Yeah.
Just vanish. You find another stack of barrels, and at this point, you've trained at hiding behind barrels.
I'm the master barrel hider.
Caradol wins? Where'd Caradol grow?
And you can see Batsulan sort of... he looks around, doesn't see anything, knocks on the door, and waits. And at this point, if the other three of you would want to have approached at this point, you may. There's no response from the knocking on the door. And he digs into his robe pocket and pulls out a key and unlocks the door. And he just kind of peeks inside, and you see his head kind of just recoil backwards, like look inside again, and quickly just slam it shut and relock it and pocket the key. And you just see him kind of like hunched over. He sets the dish with the money on it from the sermon down on the ground and just kind of like back against the building, kind of slumps down into a sitting position and is just kind of like staring at the ground in place.
And just stays there?
He's just staying there for at least, 30 seconds or so at least.
Well, I'm waiting for a while. I want to see if he walks away, because now I want to know what's in that building.
Okay. The rest of you?
I'm certain during this time, since Hemlock would have no idea what exactly is happening, he would have tried to sneak up again to get a view of what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, anyone who wants to sneak up close enough to watch, go ahead and roll me stealth.
There we go, 27.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay back and cock my head at Ned's neck and just kind of stare at him in his halo.
Nensnack?
Nensnack's gonna stay where he is. This guy knows him too well. He's afraid
Okay.
of going any closer.
Fair enough. Yeah, so about 30 seconds pass, a minute passes, and after about a minute, he kind of like rubs his forehead, stands up, picks up the dish, kind of looks around one more time, and then kind of sneaks through very close to Hemlock, but he doesn't notice you as he steps forward back out on the street on the other side, and heads back to the west.
So he had put the dish down, but then picked it back up.
Yes.
How close to Hemlock does he get?
Probably 15 feet away.
What is the pickpocket rules?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Because I've got it, man.
You're welcome to go for it. I would need an additional stealth check and a thievery check against his
I've
perception
got
DC.
Yeah, I have the pickpocket skill feat.
I suppose you have like all the skill feats, don't you?
I have a lot of skill feats. And I can steal or palm an object that's closely guarded, such as in a pocket, without taking the -5 penalty.
Oh, you don't take a -5. Okay. Yeah, if you would like to, roll me a stealth followed by a thievery.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll just see what happens. It's going to be fun. Oh, that's a 16 on that stealth. I think I will use... Do we have a hero point?
Did you use yours from last time?
Oh, look at that.
All right. Go ahead and re-roll your stealth check.
All right. All right, I will do so.
Oh my god!
Exactly the same
That's the
thing,
second
another
time that's
16.
happened this campaign.
That's true.
Desna just wants it to be.
Yeah.
So-
Well, at least, you know what? At least it's going to be a failure on him seeing me rather than trying to pick his pocket. So
Yeah, so you creep out of the alleyway, and before you're even close enough to even start reaching for his pockets, he kind of stops, looks over his shoulder, and just seeing you, quickly like steps back and drops the plate between the two of you, just like money just kind of like scatters between you two. You, what did you see?
I mean, no harm, my friend. No harm.
Then why do you follow? I told you! This is none of your business. What did you see?
Here's the thing. It is my business, and I'd be happy to explain why, if you would only sit down with me and have a chat.
I will do no such thing. And he kind of kneels down and starts putting the money back on the platter.
Diplomacy check?
Go for it.
22.
He kind of looks up. He's still putting the money on the plate and says, "Give me one reason I should listen to you."
Because I am trying to save the city, my friend.
Save it from what? There is nothing wrong with Kibwe.
You know that that's not true, my friend. The oozes, the disease, the plague. It's happening. You know it. And it must be stopped.
Call it a plague. It is simply judgment. For those unworthy. Is nothing to do. And he's stumbling. He's stuttering.
Yeah.
Look. Whatever you must do about these so-called oozes, do it without involving me.
But you know something, sir. You know something.
I know
And I need
nothing!
that information. Okay, I've got a thing. I took the interrogator.
It's like his theme.
It's
or
like a
whatever.
barbarian's instinct.
So it's like
Yeah,
a
my
subclass.
theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. hit
So
me up.
I get to ask a pointed question.
Mhm.
I ask a question that charms or needles someone in just the right way. Ask a question of a non-allied creature that you can see and have been conversing with. Attempt a diplomacy check against the creature's will DC.
Oh.
The creature is then temporarily immune for 1 hour. Anyway, a success or a critical success, the target must directly answer your question. It doesn't have to answer truthfully, but you gain a +4 circumstance bonus to your perception DC if the creature attempts to lie to you. And a success, it's as a critical success, but the circumstance bonus is +2. So I
Okay.
make a diplomacy check against his will DC.
Which was 22.
All right.
Okay. So that is a success. And he does still yell, "I know nothing." If
Then
you would like to.
Yeah, I will make a perception check to see if he is lying to me. And I get a plus, it's a regular success, not a critical, so I'll get a +2 on this.
Mhm.
I get a 27.
Dude knows something. He's lying out his ass. He's sweating. He's shaking, still putting money on the platter.
What if it's you or someone you love next, sir?
He just kind of looks around. There's...
Sir, I am not here to be your enemy. I'm here to help. I'm sorry that we went about it the wrong way to begin with, but all we want to do is save this city. You, sir, included.
Look, whatever your intent is, I am a firm believer in what I was raised and what I preach. While you try to justify, while you try your best, I know you only do it to attempt to find worth. But as a non-human, I am sincerely sorry for you and those like you. Why? Why waste your time?
Perhaps it is not my worth that I am trying to save, but that of others, sir.
Roll me another diplomacy.
I get a 21.
Okay. He finishes putting gold back on the platter, stands up, picks it up, reaches into his pocket and pulls out the key, and he throws it out the ground and steps on it and says, "Fine. It is your problem." He walks away.
Fantastic. I go pick up the key and return to my compatriots.
Okay.
With the news.
Yeah, you can all hear this. Like, even Nensnak, Vorgak down the way, you can hear this exchange, especially the more heated parts from Batsulan.
I love listening to you interrogate suspects, Hemlock. That's why I stay around.
It is rather fun, isn't it?
It's
Tell them
very
that.
fun.
I've got the key, though. Shall we go see what's in that building?
Say, Karanaw's probably like at the door, like listening. He was like about ready to start like picking the lock when he started hearing the yelling and kind of stopped and waited. So kind of like make a perception check at the door to kind of listen.
Go for it.
Well, that's a natural one.
Who?
You're pretty sure it's a door.
Oh,
You're
what?
not positive, though. You could be wrong.
It's a portal of some kind.
Who knows where it could lead?
It has hinges as if it opens.
Hemlock will come up behind Karanaw, who is looking at the door perplexedly, I would have to think. And kind of like...
He's doing the bird head tilts.
Yeah, the bird head tilt. And I give Karanaw a kind of a strange look like, okay. Karanaw, I have obtained the key.
The key, yes. Yes, he used the key.
He did. I think we should as well.
Here, you open it.
All right.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Don't go opening doors before we get a chance to... Are there any windows?
None that are clean enough to see through or haven't been boarded over.
Got it. I'm a little nervous about going into this place. I get the distinct impression that perhaps there's somebody in here who he knows or knew turned in some way. We should be prepared.